Alright guys, welcome back. Brent here, and today I'm coming to y'all with another video. This one's a little different than some of the other ones I've done. In this video I'm going to talk about 5 things that you need to know if you plan on going to grad school abroad, and how to kind of take this process in whole. And yeah, let's get to it. Alright, first off, I have no idea how long this video is going to be. If it gets extra long, I'm sorry, but I think what I have to say is going to be well worth it. So if you just stick with me, I greatly appreciate it. And so let's get to it. If this is your first time here and to one of my videos and don't know much about me, I'm a master's student here at the University of Tartu in Estonia, and I'm originally from Alabama in the United States. So it's pretty far difference and a pretty big shock when it comes to temperatures and stuff. So yeah, anyways, I'm going through a little bit of my process of how I got here and what I think will help you in deciding whether or not, you know, a graduate school is, one, is it right for you, and two, how to choose a program and how to go about all of this right here. So here's my top 5 tips to you on going about that. Okay, tip number 1, is this worth it? You have to really ask yourself this from the get-go before you even take more steps into it. You know, you have to kind of look at things, you know, is this going to be worth it financially? Is this going to be worth it, you know, the degree in the end? Is your future career, would it help you out with it, you know, that you got a degree somewhere else? And is that degree somewhere else going to help you get on in the future? So, because, you know, like if you go for a master's program and it's not a thesis-based program, you know, you might have problems going back to the States and to another institution and going for a PhD. So those are different things you have to consider. And not only that, but you have to consider the time away from your home country. You know, some people are glad to go abroad and stuff because they want to, you know, create a new life or live in a different country and like make a permanent residence there, which that's great. I mean, there's really a need for that across, you know, most first world countries. There's a definite need for skilled workers, and that's kind of the reason why this stuff's kind of getting more popular. That, and if you come from the States, you know, a lot of students from the States are going abroad because of our education system's way too expensive, you know, especially higher education, and so this is another option for us. But yeah, definitely you have to ask, is this worth it? You know, is this whole investment to going abroad really worth it? All right. Dos, is location slash school that you plan on going. So as I mentioned before, you got to have an idea of where would you like to go and study at. You know, is it going to be in Europe? Where at in Europe? Are you kind of just kind of up for free-for-all and just kind of looking all over? You got to kind of, you got to narrow it down a little bit, because there's a lot of schools out there that have international programs for you to get a degree in, and so you have to narrow that down so that way you can start looking at the schools, and then from the schools you got to make sure that they have a program that's that actually fits you. And 3, on the topic of the schools, you know, once you do find that school and it has the program you're looking for, take a close look at the language of instruction, because, you know, if you go to a different place and, you know, they might have a program but they only teach it in Spanish and you barely know Spanish, or they teach it only in Estonian and you barely know Estonian, that's not going to help for you unless somehow you can be proficient in it, in that language, in, you know, just a couple of months. So, you know, definitely learning that language is nice, but having to study in it, especially if you're not fluent, can be a definite challenge. So make sure that, you know, they have like English taught programs if you come from a English speaking country, or you're fluent in English and you're planning on going somewhere else that's maybe you're not so fluent in. That's the case for around here. All my classes are English taught, and all the programs here in the University of Tartu are, well, not all of them, but a lot of the programs that they promote internationally are English taught programs, which are quite nice. So yes, make sure you check the language of instruction. That's very important. All right, number 4 on the list is finances. You know, you're going abroad and you're still going to have to figure out how to pay for things. You know, even if you get a scholarship and your tuition's paid for and stuff, and that's great, you still got to figure out how you're eating and how you're keeping a roof over your head. You know, those are kind of important. So, you know, my suggestion is have some way that you can count on that those are taken care of. And for the most part, when you go and apply for your visas or your residential permits and stuff, they're going to ask for like, hey, how are you going to afford this? So you got to think about those things. Think about it's going up. So you know, excuse me. So there's options of working in the country, which is very real and very possible, but don't immediately count on that because it might be more difficult than you'd expect. So have, you know, different lines of income lined up. Make sure you talk it over with your family to say that, hey, you know, I'm doing this. Will you be willing to help support me? And also say that too, with the help of the family, because, you know, especially if you go abroad like this and you come from the States, you probably won't be able to pull out any loans to help you. That's just from what I've experienced here, because you can't just go pull out student loans and work here, which there is some schools that have FAFSA codes and stuff, and you can do that, but not all schools will. So you gotta have your finances lined up before you come over here, so that way you're not here and next thing you know you're struggling. So, but yes, jobs are possible, I should say. I also suggest make sure, like, as soon as you apply, go ahead and start putting money aside, because, you know, whether you have, you know, you're going to get it or not, it's best to start building that nest egg to at least help you out here for, you know, 6-7 months until you do find that job, or so that way it can, you know, have so much burden on your parents or whatnot. So yeah, it's kind of a big thing there. Make sure you have your finances lined up. Okay, number 5. All right, last but not least, ask questions and do your research. I cannot stress this enough. As I mentioned before, you can't just go for a campus tour that easily unless you want to spend gobbles of money in plane tickets and whatnot. So go do your research, ask questions. All these sites, the people there are super helpful. There's usually some student organizations, so that way you can ask someone that's actually in a program there, what do they think about it, what's life like living there, you know, this, that, any particular thing, so that way you can figure out before you leave and get there, is this what I'm looking for? Is this going to help me? Is, you know, answer all those questions, like what's the weather like, what's the type of food to eat, so that way you kind of know ahead of time what you're getting yourself into. It's so big and so helpful. I'm part of the International Student Ambassadors here, and I really enjoy answering those questions. And if any of you get those questions about Tartu or Estonia, I'll be more than happy to help those as well. So yeah, ask questions. Ask questions. There's no such thing as a stupid question. Alright guys, that's it for this video. Hopefully it didn't run too long for you. Thank you for sticking around and watching. If you like it, or you think it might help somebody, or it helped you, please give it a good thumbs up. If not, you know, you can give it a good thumbs down, I guess. And if you got any tips on how to look at graduate schools abroad, or anything else that I may have missed, please put them in the comments below. And I'll see y'all next time.